Welcome to Coastal Living. We've got another great show for you all today, and I've got to say, we have been serving some really delicious recipes to you all, and we're not going to stop now. I did not fail in the kitchen this time, and I can't wait to share it with you. Plus, if you plan on hosting for the big game, I know that snack table can be kind of stressful, right? A lot of different palates we have to satisfy. We've got some tips on some healthy snacks that you can include that will surely please everybody. Plus, of course, we have our pet of the week and so much more. So thanks for joining us. You're watching Coastal Living. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it is officially that time of the year. We are gearing up for the big game, which is so highly anticipated. And of course, while all the action on the field is thrilling, let's be real, the real MVP is the snack table. Am I right? So today I have registered dietitian Ashley Hawk. She's sharing her tips on building the perfect game day spread. It's so nice to have you, Ashley.
Well, thank you so much for having me. You know, I always love this time of year because as a dietitian, I love keeping my snack spreads health forward and fun. But as a mom, I also love making entertaining easy. Am I right?
Yes, I can totally relate, and I'm trying to get more into entertaining, but in a smart way. So you have some tips today to help us make game day a breeze. How are we going to do that?
Okay, that's right. So we have a few little quick tips that are going to wow your guests, and you're also going to love it because it hits big in the nutrient department. So tip number one is to buy ingredients that are going to save you time. A perfect example of this is Dandy Celery, which is why I'm so proud to partner with them because I love being able to maximize my veggie intake. And it's easy to do this with Dandy because their celery is pre-washed, it's pre-cut, so it's ready to go right out of the bag. You get to skip all the prep work, no chopping, no washing, and just go straight to serving. So this gives you more time to enjoy all the snacks during the big game and have more fun with your guests.
Hey, I love it. We're eliminating the washing and the chopping, so we're already halfway there. I'm loving it. What is tip number two?
Okay, so you want to be able to serve something for everyone. And I recommend doing this by offering different dips. And my perfect dip trio, if you will, are having something that's classic but boosted with benefits. A perfect example of this is doing a high protein ranch dip. This is just made with whipped cottage cheese and then the ranch flavors. Then you also want to have something unexpected. And what I am loving this time of year is doing a Bloody Mary dip. All this is cream cheese where you've added some tomato paste, and then you've added even more flavor by putting in chopped olives and chopped celery. You can serve it in these little martini glasses, or you can have it on display in a big bowl, but it has so much flavor to it. And then, of course, we have to have something on the sweet side. So I love being able to serve my kids this peanut butter yogurt dip. This is just vanilla yogurt, and then we've added in a big scoop of peanut butter, and then you can garnish it with different cut fruits. You can also do little crackers, chocolate chips on top, and of course, I'm loading up on the Dandy Celery because it's sweeter, crispier, crunchier, and less stringy than any other celery brand on the store shelves. Plus, the subtle taste and the crunch is going to make it an easy way to sneak in those extra vitamins and minerals without anyone even noticing.
Yes, you are speaking my language. I'm in my healthy mom era, and I love that you're considering the kids too. Do we have any other smart ideas for healthy hosting for any occasion?
Well, this is just a great tip in general when it comes to stocking your kitchen. You want to get ingredients that you're going to use more than once and that are going to have a long shelf life or fridge life, if you will. Veggies like celery are great because you can use them as your dipper. You can also fill them and make little celery boats out of them, or you can chop them up and add them to a celery slaw. So nothing's going to waste, and you're also getting the best bang for your buck.
So this is really exciting, and you do have a fun opportunity to score ahead for the big game, right?
That's right. So right now you can score big ahead of the game by entering Dandy's annual Dip It to Win It sweepstakes. This is going to give you the opportunity to win a $1,000 gift card. So this is a perfect way to stock up on all those game day essentials. It's going to be going until February 7th. So you want to make sure that you enter today, and you can do this by going to info.dudafresh/dip it to win it. You can also find out more information on their website at dudafresh.com. And then, of course, you've got to follow along the fun on social media. So go to @DandyFreshProduce.
Thank you for these tips today. We appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Today I'll be sharing a delicious and nutritious chicken soup recipe. This is great for cold weather, if you're feeling under the weather, or just a good old soup day. And it's pretty quick and easy to make in the kitchen as well, so a no-hassle dish. Here are the ingredients you'll need: some zucchini, squash, cilantro, your favorite seasonings, some bone broth, and I like to go with the hot rotel. Y'all know I like my spice. Let's get our water boiling and toss in your chicken. While that is cooking, we're going to get our canned foods ready. So the hot rotel, our golden hominy. If you're making a big batch, you can mix and match your golden white hominy. I got my cilantro ready as one of my toppings, and now we're gonna get our broth ready in a separate bowl. So I really am a huge fan of bone broth. It adds a lot of extra nutrients to your dish. So we're throwing that in a separate pot. We took our chicken out, shredded that up, and put that in as well. And we're also recycling the water from our boiled chicken. Again, more nutrients added. Go ahead and throw in your canned goods. You've got your corn, your rotel, and of course your hominy as well. Be careful for the splashes. I'm pretty messy in the kitchen, so we don't judge. Add a little bit of garlic, fresh or minced. Pre-minced is fine. Went ahead and did some of my chili powder. Again, if you didn't use bone broth and you're lacking a little flavor, you can probably use a little extra chili powder or that chicken bouillon. Salt and pepper to taste. We're gonna mix all that up and toss in our veggies. So we've got our zucchini, squash, and a little bit of cilantro in there as well. We're gonna let that simmer, bring down the temperature a little bit, and cook that until your zucchini looks a little soft but not too squishy, or just however you like it to be. I like a little crunch left in my veggies. This is looking really good, so we're gonna give it a nice stir and taste that broth. This is your chance to add those last bits of seasoning or whatever it takes to give that perfect flavor. As that cools down a bit, I'm getting my garnishes ready. So I've got my avocado cubed and some lime. And before we serve it up, I am gonna put a little bit of lime in the entire dish. So 1 or 2 limes will suffice. That's gonna depend on how much soup you make. Toss on your garnishes a little bit of cheese, whichever you prefer. I went with the Mexican shredded cheese. We're gonna let that get nice and melty on top, and we'll toss in our avocado and a little bit more cilantro for taste. I also like to serve up a few limes on the side, and as you all know, I love my spice, and my Julio's hot chips have become basically an additional seasoning in my food. So I like to throw those on top for a little extra crunch. This soup is packed with flavor and nutrition. I hope you love it. If you try it, let me know at Coastal Living TV on Facebook and Instagram.
Now, Coastal Living's Pet of the Week.
It's time to introduce our pet of the week, and this one's personality is as cute as her name. Meet Babs. She's a Labrador Retriever mix, and she is only 6 months old, looking for a new home. Babs is dog-friendly and loves running around the play yard. She has been very friendly with the staff and, of course, loves attention. Babs is still learning how to walk on a leash, but she does know how to sit already, so she's off to a great start. Remember, you can visit Babs and all of her furry friends over at Corpus Christi Animal Care Services, Monday through Saturday from 1 to 5:30. You may find the perfect companion for you. Corpus Christi Public Libraries and Animal Care Services are partnering to collect donations for the Critter Comfort Winter Weather Drive. Bring new or gently used blankets, towels, sheets, unopened treats, and canned and dried foods. Donations will be accepted until January 31st of 2025 at all 6 library locations during their regular library hours. For more information, visit cctexas.com/library. Supplies can also be dropped off at Corpus Christi Animal Care Services at 2626 Holly Road, Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Let's give the gift of food and love this holiday season to our furry friends.
Coastal Living's Pet of the Week is paid for by Animal Medical Corpus Christi, family owned and operated since 1981.
Hi.
Hi.
I am here to get you connected. Use this to discover information.
What is life?
An ocean buoy and a satellite search for meaning in the post-apocalyptic romance Love Me.
If you need help finding friends or contact...
We could be friends. Pick a face. How about this face? This is how life forms make friends.
Okay, I'm not so sure I'm following.
Let's move in together. In here, we can create a world.
We were in mocap suits, motion capture suits. So we actually got to
play, when we seemed to be cartoons on the screen, we were actually able to sit in front of each other.
What does it feel like to be alive?
This is amazing. Well, it's date night.
Stars Kristen Stewart and Stephen Yeun say the setup spurred their imaginations.
It felt like we were both like digging to find whatever we were trying to find, and I was happy to like talk it out, feel it out.
Have you ever considered how impossible it is that we found each other?
But who are we supposed to be?
It's literally just about negotiating those micro emotional movements of like, am I being real and honest? Then why aren't you receiving me if I am? It's like, well, you're not, you're being fake. It's like, well, who are you to tell me what's real or fake?
Yeah.
It's kind of what we deal with every day in, you know, different ways and with a lot more distractions. I'm not even a buoy anymore. I am just me.
We're becoming who we are.
In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and you can too, but be sure to come back when we return. We surely enjoy learning as much as we can about the Coastal Bend history from where we're born and raised, right? Well, we're going to learn a little bit about the Furman Plaza when we return. We have that and more to come, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back on Coastal Living. Today we are back with our friends from Due West Foundation Repair, and today we're talking pier and beam, which I would say is a pretty good fraction of homes here in the Coastal Bend. Let's talk about maintenance, basics, and some things we may not have known about before. We've got a lot to learn.
Well, during these winter months, a lot of people, they want to close the vents that are on the side of the house. They do that because they don't want their floors to get cold and stuff like that, but it actually is not good to the overall health of the crawl space. We want to make sure we have plenty of ventilation going through there. We want to make sure we don't have any debris that's, you know, causing airflow not to go through, and that kind of stuff. Another thing that we want to be watching out for is water sitting up against there. Whenever water sits up against the side of the house, it does absorb into the inside. And if you have all your vents closed, you're going to start getting a lot of humidity, mold, and moisture underneath there that will actually come up, and you'll start breathing that throughout the house.
Okay.
So we really want to make sure that we're not doing those things.
All right. And if you're in like a rental property, or maybe you just purchased a home, or you've been in this home for years, right? And you're like, oh, my foundation seems fine. My floors look okay up top. Is it important for us to get like regular inspections on our foundation if we live in a pier and beam?
Yes, I would recommend annual inspections.
Okay.
Just to make sure that you're not having any kind of plumbing leaks underneath there. Make sure that you're not having any humidity. Make sure that you have the proper airflow.
Okay.
A lot of times during these winter months, people want to start adding insulation underneath there. And they want to use fiberglass insulation, which is not a good thing.
Okay.
It's actually very absorbent and will hold that moisture up against the floor. So whenever we're insulating these crawl spaces, we want to use a closed cell phone insulation.
Okay, so this isn't exactly a DIY project. You probably want to leave it to the pros. For a basic annual inspection, is that going to break the bank, or is that something that's pretty reasonable?
Actually, they're going to be free with Due West.
Oh, okay, really great. And you guys guarantee your work. Y'all have a lot of innovative strategies that you use to get into the slab foundation homes. So when you're getting into that crawl space, what are some of the other things that you're looking for when you come in for an inspection, or what are some of the most common mistakes you see that we're making besides like the fiberglass?
The biggest mistake is people closing the vents.
Okay.
That is the absolute biggest mistake. They're just not promoting any kind of airflow underneath there. You'll start to see these homes that have their wood floors buckling and stuff like that. It's all because of that. During the summer months, we're just playing catch up. I mean, we're dealing with trees, grass, shrubs, heat, everything. But during the winter months, those go dormant. So we really should be prepping that soil for the summer coming up.
Okay, good point. And again, with these water restrictions we've had, that can be difficult. So make sure you know your schedule. There are plenty of resources online with the city to find out when you can utilize that water, when you can take care of your foundation and use that drip system, which we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, Due West does have a drip system that's actually water exempt. You can actually still use it during water rationing for your foundation.
Okay, and that's something you guys can come in and install?
Yes, ma'am. All
right, so beyond foundation repair, they're just trying to keep your foundation in one piece so you don't need a repair, right? So let's be preventative as well. Get those annual inspections, get the drip foundation or the drip water, right?
Irrigation system.
Irrigation, and get in touch with our friends at Due West. They're ready to take care of y'all. They're offering a free inspection. So, I mean, I don't think there's any excuses, guys. Get in touch with them and let them know you heard about them on Coastal Living. They'll make sure they take extra good care of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Planning on hiring a moving company this year? Well, watch out. Complaints about some movers range from lost and damaged items to late deliveries to all sorts of added fees. But with the right amount of research, you can avoid all those problems.
This is fun.
Chantel Buchler says she's lucky to have most of her cherished collectibles.
They came from Germany.
After 2 bad moves.
We discovered 5 or 6 things that were damaged in the move process.
She and her husband Matt say they ended up with several broken items. Then huge surcharges tacked on to what they were promised over the phone.
I get the bill and it was like actually double, literally double what they told me it was going to be.
Randall Phelps with Wheel Thoman Moving says he sees this all the time with unscrupulous moving companies.
There's never take an estimate over the phone. You always want to get a company representative to come out to the house.
Randall says it's essential the moving company sees what you have and how many steps are in your home.
Some companies have extra cost for long carries, second, third floor carries with no elevator.
He says get a signed contract so you don't get hit with surprise fees like the Buchlers. In addition, the Better Business Bureau recommends you verify a company's credentials by asking for proof of licenses and insurance. Find out what your homeowner's insurance covers in the event damage is not covered by the mover. And take valuables like jewelry or important paperwork with you. Don't pack them away in boxes. Matt and Chantel are happy they signed a contract with Randall's company for their most recent move, saying they ended up with no unwelcome fees or problems.
When you take the lowest quote you get, there are going to be surprises, but it's just not worth the risk.
And that way you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese.
This is Coastal Bend History.
I'm Andy Lascano, and we are in downtown Corpus Christi, actually at the historic Furman building right here at Peoples and Mesquite. You know, this place has been a fixture for most of our lives, but what a lot of people don't realize that it has very humble beginnings. Major William W. Chapman came to Texas to fight in the Mexican War. He started in San Antonio as the quartermaster before moving south and joining General Zachary Taylor's army along the border. Chapman also served as the quartermaster at Fort Brown, which is where Brownsville is. In 1852, Chapman was appointed quartermaster of the new Army headquarters in Corpus Christi, where he stayed until the facility was closed in 1857. During his time here, he became prominent in civic and business affairs, including a partnership with Richard King in the acquisition of the first tracts of land to be incorporated into the King Ranch. In 1858, Chapman bought 3 pieces of 2 at Peoples and Water, where the Nueces Hotel was built, and a third at Mesquite and People Street. That third piece of land at Peoples and Mesquite is where Chapman's son, William E. Chapman, and his daughter, Chapman Furman, built a single-story building that served as a trading post and the city's first gas station. It had a single one-person hand pump on the Mesquite side of the building. 13 years later, his daughter, Jessie Chapman Furman, hired an architect out of San Antonio, and 2 more floors were added, and the original building was expanded. During its life, the building served many things: a trading post, civil defense shelter, and one of the first pharmacies in the downtown area. In 1929, a well-known Corpus Christi figure would take up residence in the building. Furman Plaza was the site of Doc McGregor's chiropractic practice, which he later abandoned for his love of photography. In the 1950s, it was an Oshman's department store, and the Olympia restaurant operated inside the building. Furman Plaza grew and expanded with the city, and at one point it was the center of commerce for the downtown area. In 1984, the building was bought by Third Coast Investments, and they worked to restore the property and add a new parking lot. While it remained in use, the building didn't grow much after that until very recently. So as the story continues, a man named Stephen Ryback of MDR Advertising signed on to turn the Furman Plaza into the Foundry, a multi-use building. Now, the Foundry's aim is to keep the architectural elements of the building's exterior while turning it into a mixed-use business and retail area. Tell you what, if you want to learn more about the Furman Building, the historic Furman Building, all you have to do is click on the QR code that you see on your screen, or you can go to our website, christv.com, click on the Coastal Bend History tab, and look up all of these stories, including the one on the Foundry. Until next time, I'm Andy Lascano.
Interested in growing your business? Coastal Living can help. Email us at advertise@coastallivingtv.com or scan the QR code on your screen for more information.
Believe we're already heading into another weekend and approaching the end of January. We're all the way into 2025, guys, and we have a lot to talk about. So we encourage you to join us tomorrow as we explore all the great things there are to do around the Bend. We've got your fishing line. We're going to see what good old Jace Tunnel is up to. You know, he likes to go beach combing and finds the coolest things, and we're going to share all of that with you and so much more, so be sure to join us. Visit us online and keep the conversation going at Coastal Living TV on Facebook and Instagram. Have a great day.